Liberty and Prosperity, 1776. This is over here at Washington's headquarters. Washington made his winter headquarters at the Arnold Tavern January 6th, 1777. Now a part of All Souls Hospital. December 1779, he established headquarters at the Ford Mansion, now maintained as a museum. So I guess here across the way must be the Ford Mansion. This was Washington's headquarters back in the day when he was General Washington, before he was the first president. Of course, people want to argue about that, but just going by normal, he was the first president. So, how do you like that? Washington made his headquarters at the Arnold Tavern January 6th, 1777. You learn something new every day. And this is put up by the New Jersey Commission on Historic Sites. Now the museum here, it's now a museum, but it's closed. This is over in Morristown, New Jersey, by the way, Morris County. This is Morris Ave, Morristown, Washington's headquarters. So let's walk to the crosswalk if there's one across the street. Nice big house. Looks kind of French architecture. The mansion. Must have very large fireplace inside of it. And here's a sign. National Park Service, U.S. Department of the Interior. And here's their logo. It's like an arrowhead. It's like maybe the Sierra Mountains in the back, something. A little bowl. What do you call it? Water buffalo? A tree. And here's the sign. Washington's headquarters. Nice big open space you got to hang out, huh? There must have been lots of horses and carriages everywhere. Now across the way, it's a bunch of garden apartments. Lots of them. And on, other side, there's a train. So kind of like trading places, Starts off with the rich people and the statues of Washington and all that. And you see the ordinary people like just trying to catch the bus or the train or keeping warm in front of a garbage can fire. That's the contrast. Everything's a duality. You got the haves and the have-nots. Ford Mansion straight ahead, and then you got the Washington Headquarters Museum to the left, and also restroom facilities, but there's only for two types. It's funny. I wonder what Washington would think today. Those guys be rolling their eyes, huh? So look at this beautiful old mansion, colonial, made of wood. It's beautiful. Look at that old pane glass. Got it sitting there next to the fireplace. Keep yourself warm. Think about it. George Washington was in this house, the big house, before he was president. Let's see his pictures. You're looking into the main hallway of the Ford Mansion. The room to the near right was the study. Washington used it as his private office. The door in the middle leads to the staircase to the second floor where Washington, his wife, and aides and the servants slept. And the room to the far right, front of the house, was the parlor. It did double duty as Washington's dining room, as the secretary's office, and as the secretary's office. Here you go, look at that. And it looks like this is his bedroom. You're looking at the main hallway into the Ford mansion. The room to the left was the sitting room during the winter of 1779 to 1780. Mrs. Ford's 3 sons, ages 17, 15, and 8, shared this room. Then here, the room to the far left of the front of the house was the dining room. Mrs. Ford and her 12-year-old daughter slept there. They also used the room as a living room and a dining room. So there you go, look at that. There's the dining room, and the people slept right there. Almost like a hotel. So it's like you got this giant house, but they lived simple inside, really, you know? Like, you know, it was nicer than everyone else's, of course. But, you know, there's, you know, table, bed. But compared to today's living standards, it's pretty regular. This big, beautiful house. This is probably the servants' quarters here, of course. I wonder if any ladies of the evening ever walked through that door. Only the front, of course, only the front. This looks like an old fireplace. Yep, there's the chimney. So this is Washington's headquarters in 2023. Way into the future. Way past into the Twilight Zone. There we are. Anyway, I was thinking maybe the next video, perhaps go on down to Weehawken, New Jersey, where the Aaron Burr, who was a vice president at the time under Thomas Jefferson, had a duel with Alexander Hamilton. That's the guy on the $10 bill. And July 11th, 1804, on John Quincy Adams' birthday. And then Hamilton died the next day on July 12th. So if you saw my other video about the presidents and the numerology of the first 10 presidents, you see that it's like a mix and match of birth and death dates, and also holding office while they're president, in a synchronicity that has to be intentional, because they're into numerology, and numerology is based off calendars, and calendars are based off astrology. So there's definitely a connection that they use. It's called a cult. It's hidden. We don't know. There's clues. You can speculate, but there's definitely, the truth is out there. Anyhow, there's another sign here. I'm walking funny because my dog is crazy. He is crazy. That's Bruno, and he is an insane dog. He could hang by his teeth, you know. So here's the Ford mansion. The Army is quartered within 3 miles of this place. In the usual way of hunting, headquarters is in this town at the Widow Ford's, at the Great White House at the north end of the place. Major General Nathaniel Greene, December 25th, 1779. And as you can see, they're not celebrating Christmas here, even though it's December 25th. You see, in these days, I don't believe they celebrated Christmas. They were Protestants. That's back in those days. You know, the reason why the people came here to America were the Pilgrims, to get away from the Roman Catholic Church. They were Protestants. They protested the church. They didn't celebrate Christmas, I think, until 1820, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, here's some more pictures to look at. History for sale, history preserved. those long guns aimed at the redcoats, huh? Then there's the Eagle. Gotta have the Eagle. Every dominating country has its Eagle. From Rome to America and everyone in between. As they can say, you can punch pause and read it yourself. There's a horse pulling a sled. See the interior. There's no Christmas tree inside. This lights normal, candles, and a fireplace. That's how you kept warm. This is the place. Look at that. Look. That's how it looked then, 1779. And here it is now, 2023. There's a statue there in the corner. Yeah. So here's the owner of the house, Jacob Ford Jr., a wealthy iron manufacturer, built this Georgian-style home in the 1770s. A colonel in the New Jersey militia, Ford died of pneumonia on January 10th, 1777, while General George Washington's light infantry quartered in his home. Washington directed the light infantry to provide Colonel Ford with a military funeral. Nearly 3 years later, his widow Theodosia Ford allowed General Washington's wife Martha and his military family of 5 secretaries and 18 servants to return to her home to use the Ford mansion as their quarters from December 1779 to June 1780. Eventually, General Marquis de Lafayette and Spanish and French ambassadors visited the home with their servants and secretaries, including Mrs. Ford, her 4 children, and her servants. This house might have quartered over 30 people at night. So here it is, Washington's headquarters. 1779, 1780. This is some serious history here for history buffs. It's pretty cool. Maybe I could buy the place and move in. Yeah, anyhow, that's the video. I hope you liked it. All right. Thanks a lot. Ciao.